I recall, Mr. Speaker, that only last year you paid a surprise visit to the buffer stock company, specifically on the 23rd of June 2022. And Mr. Speaker himself warned. Mr. Speaker had foresight, he had vision. He warned that the situation was deteriorating, and the Speaker was not listened to. Now here we are, matters are totally out of control. So, Mr. Speaker, I want to appeal to you that the Honorable Minister for Education and the Honorable Minister for Agri should be programmed to appear before this House urgently. And possibly we should add the Minister for Finance, because we are hearing that the Minister for Education made a request for financial release and it has not been acceded to. So these three ministers, Mr. Speaker, they have to appear before us. These are our mothers, these are also our children who are starving. We cannot, Mr. Speaker, gloss over this matter for a whole week next week. So I want to make a special appeal, particularly following your visit to the place, your surprise visit last year, so that we can address this matter head on.
Samuel Okujeto Ablakwa is Member of Parliament for North Tong, adding his voice to the appeal. The ranking member on the Education Committee of Parliament, Peter Notukotoi, announced that the food supplies have been sidelined by the government.
I happened to visit the women on Wednesday at the buffer stock headquarters, and the conditions under which they were living was very bad. So, Mr. Speaker, I remember last year you set up a committee involving education, agri, health, and gender. The committee couldn't meet up to today, and I reminded you of the issue sometime. And I hope that, Mr. Speaker, this is a time again to take a second look at the committee so that we see what we can, because they are being owed over 278 million Ghana cedis for 2 years. And the unfortunate thing also is that they have sidelined them. They no longer even supply the food to the senior high schools. So, Mr. Speaker, there is the need for Parliament to intervene on their behalf so that government can pay them their money.
Peter Notukotoi, Ranking Member, Education Committee, Parliament of Ghana. For his side, the Deputy Majority Leader Alexander Panyomakin says efforts are being made by the government to settle the arrears, hence there is no need for a probe by the House into the matter.
I had a good conversation with the Minister of Education. It is his ministry that does the payment through buffer stock. The indication he gives is that every effort is being made to deal with the situation, and that some of the vendors have been paid and they are doing so in batches. So I believe that it's not a matter that would have to require a parliamentary committee going to investigate. The issue is people are owed and they have to be paid. They've rendered services to the state. They have to be paid. And the minister indicates to me that some have been paid, not all, and that steps are being taken to do extensive validation of invoices presented. So I want to, on his behalf, take this opportunity to assure all creditors who are concerned, who are worried, that the ministry will pay them through buffer stock as an entity. The private sector, where they do their business, and those who depend on them would have a cause to be worried, especially as they've rendered services and they are not being paid. Just because I know such a challenge, especially if you go and take a loan from the bank. The bank would be calculating interest against you and your overdraft and your loan and all that. So the concerns being expressed, my view, is a well-founded concern. And I think that the minister has heard these concerns. So, Mr. Speaker, that's the response I have in respect of that matter.
You had the Deputy Majority Leader Alexander Apanyo marking less stay in Parliament because the Speaker, Alban Bagbin, has directed that the Ministers for Education, Agriculture and Finance be held before Parliament over government's indebtedness to the National Food Suppliers Association. This follows an appeal by the Member of Parliament for North Tong, Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa, to the House to invite the aforementioned ministers to provide briefing on how government intends to settle the over 270 million Ghana cedi debt owed the food supplies. The food supplies have been picketing at the office of the Buffer Stock Company in demand for their monies.
Away from that, the Vice President, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, who is still touring the Ashanti region, is expected to commission 2 astroturfs in the eastern regional capital, Koforidua, when he begins the tour of the region on the 26th of this month. He will also cut sword for the construction of a 3rd astroturf at Koforidua Zongo, check the progress of work on the Nyamekrum Polyclinic, and also commission a modern police post at the Koforidua Technical University. The projects, which are at various stages of completion, forms part of the new Koforidua project spearheaded by the Member of Parliament for New Jabeng South, Michael Kofi Ochrebefi. The MP ahead in an interview with City News after inspecting the progress of work at various projects locations said the projects will bring relief to residents in Koforidua.
Certain things that can be done to change the face of the municipality will be done, and that's exactly what we are doing now. By the grace of God, we've been able to do 2 different astroturf. This astroturf is going to encourage sports and recreation in the municipality, which is critically important because it is located in the school. We want a lot of people to take advantage of this facility so that we're able to unearth their talents and they can be good players tomorrow to also enhance the visibility and the image of our municipality. So we have done a lot of them. I mean, this is the second one that we have done so far. We have another one to start in Zongo, making it 3. So we are sure by the end of our tenure, that's 2024, the tenure of the Nekufuado Dankwa's government, will be able to complete at least 3 astroturf in the municipality, which will be very phenomenal. I mean, it has never happened in the history of this municipality. A lot of people know. Either to this, we're having a park here, and this is a place that we play football a lot. So people will see the kind of things that have been done, except those who, whatever you do, they will not appreciate. I mean, people know that we are working hard. We are doing a lot of things in town. We went to the medical facility. You see what is going on there. Clearly, we are working. And I know when we are done with this project, a lot of talents will be unearthed in this municipality.
He says he is also collaborating with the police command to investigate circumstances where street lights often go off weeks after installation.
The problem is about lighting. The same lights are given to us by the Ministry of Energy. The same lights are given to people in Sunyani. When you go to Sunyani, it is always on. Bakofodia will bring it 2 weeks, 3 weeks to go off. We don't know the reason. So we want to now investigate to see the cause of that so that we'll be able to solve it once and for all. And when we solve it once and for all, the people of this area will benefit. Because when you are passing and there's so much light, no criminal can undertake a business because of the environment and also because of the existence of a police station here. So we hope it will be able to solve the problem for us. We are doing 7. But we are started with this and we want to do another one, Sabine and Calling Kwanta. These are the 3 stations that we are starting. And maybe Zongo later on. But we are sure we'll be able to finish within the specified period we've given ourselves because ultimately it will serve the interests of the municipality. People will benefit from it, and that's exactly what I'm looking for.
You heard the Member of Parliament for the New Jabeng South and Deputy Minister of Trade and Industry, Michael Kofi Ochrebefi. Meanwhile, the Council Chairman of the Koforidua Technical University, Professor Samuel Apori, who acknowledged the importance of the police post, says security will be improved on campus.
We wish to thank the Member of Parliament and then the Deputy Minister for Trade Industry for providing a police post which is more like a modern police station to provide security for our students, staff, and other stakeholders who utilize the facility. That's why I heard it. I was not informed. but I decided to come and see it myself and thank him. Because in any university, the need for security is very paramount. And there are all groups of people with different backgrounds in the system. And we have to ensure absolute security. But the property there has to be protected. And with this, when there's trouble, within seconds, they will fall in and protect property, lives, and everything.
As the council chairman, are you worried by the level of insecurity in and around?
For now, we don't have much problem because the regional security were doing their best. But the point is time and access to the place. Because you can have social deviance and or misclients anywhere. And at least this will put people on their toes that they have to be careful. So it becomes more of preventive. And that's what we have to do.
You heard the council chairman of the Koforidua Technical University, Professor Samuel Apori.
The theatre at the Tatali Sanguli District Hospital in the Northern Region remains locked 6 months after it was shut down due to the lack of equipment. Nurses at the theatre unit of the hospital in January laid down their tools over the lack of anesthesia monitoring machines for surgeries at the health center. The situation is affecting many who need to undergo surgeries and pregnant women who have to go through a cesarean section. City News' checks at the facility shows the theatre is still closed and efforts are being made to get it functioning.
Police have arrested 3 persons suspected to be involved in the killing of a mobile money vendor, Zanu Mandela, in the Akachi South municipality of the Volta region. The deceased is reported to have been shot several times by his assailant while on his way home from work last month. The suspects are said to have bolted with the motorcycle of the deceased as well as an undisclosed amount of money. Confirming the arrest to City News, the municipal chief executive for Akachi South, Martin Kovice Nyahe, said the police is on a manhunt for other suspects. And that's it for the Citi Prime News, which has been live from our studio here in Adabraka in Accra. I am Inu Safu, and I was here with
Caleb Kuda.
For more news, do log on to our website, citynewsroom.com. Up next is the afternoon's edition of the City Business News with Na Shika Caesar. Many thanks for tuning in. Do enjoy your day.